What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Tonight I am here with the new 2026 Toyota Crown. This one is the fully loaded Platinum. I've been scrolling through YouTube and so far I have not seen any night reviews for the 2026 Toyota Crown. So I figured I would do this review to show you guys all the lighting elements on the exterior as well as the interior and just give an overall sense of what the Toyota Crown looks like at night. But before we get into it, a huge thank you to Toyota for sending this 2026 Crown for this video. Alright, so the first question I want to answer in this video is what happens when you approach the vehicle. So the vehicle is off, the vehicle is locked, and I have the key fob here in my pocket. I'm approaching here from the driver's side, and the first thing you'll notice down below is you see a little light shining onto the ground down below. So we do have a puddle light on both mirrors, but those are the only lights that come on. We don't have anything from the headlights or the tail lights. And then when I touch the back of the door handle, you see a flash from the turn signal and then you see the mirror fold out. So now I'm gonna get in, start it up, and then show the exterior. So starting up here at the front end, the Toyota Crown has these quad beam LED headlights. So these are 4 projector beam elements inside the housing. You can see right now just 3 of them are on. That is the low beam. You can see the LED daytime running light at the top. The running light is still very bright even with the headlights on. One thing that's a little odd is this piece right here, because it's enclosed in plastic and it almost looks like there's a light in there, but it doesn't come on because it's perfectly in line with that running light. And I think that would look really cool if the light went all the way across. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this, if it's supposed to turn on. I've been turning the headlight stalk to every option. So I don't know if that turns on or not. But anyway, this is what the low beam looks like, extremely bright. And now here's the high beams. You can see that 4th lighting element came on. And then over here on the right side, you can see the LED turn signal. It is blindingly bright, standing right in front of it here, but it uses the same light as the daytime running light, and then it turns a very bright amber. On the side of the bumper, integrated into the reflector, is a small amber marker light. This is the top trim level of the Toyota Crown, and as you can see, we don't have any fog lights, so we don't get fog lights on any trim level of the Toyota Crown. The rest of the front end, it shines nicely at night. The lower part of the bumper is finished in gloss black. We have a small silver accent towards the bottom. And now turning to the side profile of the Toyota Crown, I think, throws some people off. So first, let's clear the air. It is a sedan, but it is a tall sedan. And because of the shape of the rear, to many, it looks like one of those SUV coupes, like the BMW X4, the X6, the GLC coupe, etc. It's very tall for a sedan, and I think it stands out quite a bit because of that. This is also the last non-luxury full-size sedan on the market here in the US, so it's kind of in a category of its own. So on the mirrors, you can see LED turn signal indicators. These are power folding, as I showed earlier. We have gloss black on the top of the mirror cap, but the rest of it is flat black underneath. And it's got the puddle light that we saw earlier. On the windows, we have chrome trim along the bottom and along the top. It doesn't fully connect at the back because we have this floating roofline illusion where this window looks like it kind of continues all the way to the back. Very Lexus-like on this design language. Dropping down to the bottom, we have this really thick piece of gloss black. At the very bottom, we have flat black, and it also goes around the wheel arches. Now, I kind of wish this flat black was gloss black, maybe at least just on this fully loaded Platinum, because it does cheapen the look just a little bit. Now let's take a look here at the wheel and tire setup. This is a 21-inch wheel exclusive to the Platinum trim. It's a 2-tone colorway, mostly gloss black, with machined aluminum on the edges of the spokes. And I think it fits the car well too. This is riding on Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires, and the size is 225/45. And just like that reflector light up front, we have another one in the back, except it's red instead of amber. So this helps kind of give it a symmetrical look, same in the back as it is up front. And now heading to the back, I think people are torn between whether or not the rear end looks good. I don't think it looks bad, but maybe just a little bit odd. It is clean though. There's nothing like crazy going on. We have this one LED light bar that goes all the way across. Well, it is intersected by the Toyota badge. We have Crown spelled across in big letters, Hybrid Max badge there on the left, and a Platinum badge there on the right. Here's a look at the LED turn signal. Again, plenty bright, and it is red instead of amber. Now the LED light bar has a lot of detail here on the top. So it's not just super plain looking. It actually looks pretty cool when you look at it up close. Can't really see it that well at night, but we have 6 parking sensors going all around the bumper. The very bottom of the bumper is finished in flat black, aside from this silver trim at the very bottom. But again, it would look a lot better if it was gloss black instead. This is kind of trying to be a luxury vehicle after all, so that would definitely help that cause. The license plate is all the way down at the bottom, and as you can see, we have 2 bright white LEDs that illuminate the license plate very well. So here is what the brake lights look like. You see it there. And if I throw it in reverse, there are the reverse lights. So like I said, this is a sedan, so it does have a traditional trunk like a sedan, but my favorite feature that they added for 2026 is a fully electric trunk lid. So one push of a button, it goes all the way up. Now there's plenty of cars that do that. They have a weighted trunk lid that just goes up when you pop it. But what you almost never see on a non-luxury vehicle is a button to close it with just one push. And that's great to see, because on a lot of luxury brands like Lexus, BMW, etc., a power trunk lid on a sedan is something you have to option or get a higher trim level for. So to get a feature like that at this price point nowadays in a new car is unheard of. But anyway, heading back into the trunk. As far as lighting, there's just one light here at the top. It's not very bright, I do have to say. And please excuse my shopping bags, but I guess that gives you an idea of what 2 shopping bags look like in the trunk of a Toyota Crown. The trunk is nice and spacious though, 15.2 cubic feet of storage. And again, really happy to have that button there. All right, so now I have the car turned back off, gonna get in, start it up again, and now go over the whole interior. All right, power button right behind the wheel. So while I have the door open, I want to talk about the dome lighting. So the dome light at the top, it is LED and it is white. It's 2 different light bulbs. They're kind of formed into this U shape. And on the door itself, you can see at the very bottom, we have a light there that's good for alerting oncoming drivers when you open your door to see that there is a vehicle there. And even when it's not on, I believe it does double as a reflector. So this is the interior of the 2026 Toyota Crown Platinum. First, I want to go over the thing I am disappointed by the most, and that is the fact that we don't have any kind of colored ambient lighting. Now I'm in a darker part of the parking lot. There is a tiny bit of quote-unquote ambient lighting. So if we look over here, on the inside of the door handle, there's a small little light illuminating inside. We also have illumination inside the cup holders, but nothing on the dash or on the door panel, or there's just a little bit in the footwell, but again, it's just white light. You can't change the color or anything like that. But in a fully loaded vehicle that's trying to be a luxury vehicle, that is very disappointing. I was hoping for 2026 they were going to add that, but they did not. We also don't have a digital rear view mirror. It is auto dimming, so there's that. But enough about that. Now let's go over the illumination of all the buttons. So here on the steering wheel, on the left side here, these controls are for the digital gauge display up above. We have a phone button, a back button, volume switch there, and voice command. Everything up here is for adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. This is fast forward rewind for audio, and then we have the mode button. To the left of the wheel, we have the button for the automatic high beams. This one right here is for the windshield deicer. Down here we have the brightness settings and the reset button for the trip computer. And then down below we have our trunk button and our gas cap. Here on the left, we have our window switches, all 4 windows, window lock, door unlock and lock. And then we have all our mirror controls there. In the center, we have all our AC controls, and they are physical buttons. That's the way I like it. We have dual zone climate, heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, and we do have a button here if we want to cut off the AC to the back, but they're laid out well, easy to use, so I like that. Down lower on the console, we have the camera view button, which let's take a look at that. And if we put it in drive, we have our forward-facing camera that comes up. We have the 360 off to the left, and there's a few different options here where you can pull up the car. You can see it there like that. It only works at low speed. When you're actually out driving, you can't use this, but this is really useful for parking. And the backup camera, right now I'm in a dark area, but you can see it's still lit up pretty well thanks to how bright the brake lights and the reverse lights are in the back. So it does help illuminate and make the picture quality better and easier to see. We have trajectory lines and distance markers. Here we have the transmission selector. It is very small. We have the drive mode selector, and then we have traction control, brake hold button, and your electronic parking brake. And this button right here is for parking assist. Now you can really see the illumination inside the cup holders, and you can see we have 2 USB-C ports up here, and where that little orange light is, we have a wireless charger. I am going to turn on the light. It is an upright wireless charger. I have my phone charging in there. It has clips down towards the middle that hold the phone in place, but I do prefer a wireless charger that just lays flat. Let's see, inside the center console, we don't have a light, but we do have one more USB-C port that does illuminate, so that is like the one light in there. And we also have a 12-volt outlet. Can't really see. Let's see, I'll turn on the light. Still can't really see, but you'll just have to take my word for it. We do have a 12-volt there. And a removable tray that sits at the top, lined with felt. Nice padding along the side of the center console, so you have a nice comfortable place to rest your knee. And then the leather on the door panel comes all the way down the side too, so you can rest it there on that side. Inside the glove box, we have a nice bright light in there, but it is a very small glove box. That's a bit disappointing. So here we have the fully digital gauge cluster just above the wheel, and in typical Toyota fashion, it has the 3 zones and a ton of different information it can show. So I'm just going to quickly go through all this just to show you. I'm not going to read it all off and bore the hell out of you. And then everything on the right side is a lot of the same from the left. But there's a ton of information that this thing can show, and 3 different things all at the same time. On this fully loaded Platinum, we also get a head-up display. You can see it has the speedometer. It can show audio information, and it has traffic sign recognition. It also shows information while you're using the adaptive cruise control. That is very important. And now here in the center, we have a 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen. It's not the ridiculous 14-inch one that's in the Toyota 4Runner. I do prefer this smaller screen, and it's crazy that 12 inches nowadays is starting to be considered small. Jeez, can't win. But this has a cloud-based navigation system, of course, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Works very well, nice and quick. Good resolution on this display. It also has an 11-speaker JBL audio system, so let's take a quick listen to that. Now let's head into the back seat, see what we got back there. Let's start off with the dome lighting. So up at the very back, We have two really small LEDs, but they are quite bright, so that illuminates the back pretty well. If we look at the door panel, you can see at the bottom we have that same light as the front door, and it illuminates a good amount of the ground too. And then we have the controls for the windows and the heated seats in the back. So just one stage, the two outer seats in the back are heated. And if we look here at legroom, I have the driver's seat adjusted for myself. I am 6 feet tall and I have quite a bit of room, probably about 6 inches of legroom to spare. And we have a pocket behind both front seats, which I'm very happy about. Down in the middle, 2 air vents. We don't have any controls, just the switch to cut off the airflow. And then we have 2 more USB-C ports, and they are nicely illuminated. All right, so after the lights go out, here is what it looks like in the back. It's pretty dark, but there is more lighting underneath the 2 front seats, so we get a little bit of illumination on the floor. And of course, up top, we have this big panoramic glass roof. Now, I'm not calling it a moonroof because unfortunately it does not open. So this is fixed glass, and it does have a retractable cover that's electronic. You push a button and then it closes. But yeah, it doesn't open, and unfortunately for me, that's a deal breaker. I love driving around with my roof open, and I realize not everyone's gonna care about that, but personally, that's just me. So that's gonna wrap up this night review of the 2026 Toyota Crown Platinum. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and be sure to follow @Optical Automotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.